Welcome to Myths.
I'm Matt Huss.
And I'm Dan Rhodes. Whether you know about Theseus or you're revising your syllabus,
If you want tales with a bit of jest, or you just want to hear about incest.
What?
What? It's really interesting.
Welcome to Myths. Welcome to Myths.
Willkommen zu Myths. Hallo, ich bin Matt Huss. Und dir?
Dan Rhodes.
Do you do your name in a German accent?
Yeah.
Hallo, wie geht's?
Gut, ja. You? What the fuck is you in German?
Du?
Du? Du?
Du. Ich bin gut, ja.
Gut, ja.
Ich fahre von New Yorkshire zu London, zu Wimbledon.
Wimbledon.
This is the German episode.
Das ist fantastisch.
Ich habe ein Pony, which is German for I have a pony. Although, a little fun joke, me and my friends at the school when we were learning German, GCC level, A star, actually just A, I don't want to lie, we do this thing, because if you put the past participle at the end of a sentence, so it'd be like, ich habe ein Pony, which is I have a pony, but then if you at the end you put gegessen, which is I ate a pony. So, little bit of fun for you there.
German with
Any German word, I know it, I'm a good translator.
I've just decided now that for every single episode from now on, we're going to start in a different language.
Can't wait for the Chinese one. How racist is that going to get fast?
Actually, it would be quite funny though. If we Google.
Yeah, I think we might start losing listeners, and we can't afford to do that, Dan. All right, what other languages can we do? Well, let's start in the. Should we continue the rest of the episode in German, or should we do?
Well, I never learned German at school, so it's going to be very, very, very hard. I know a bit, but not.
All right, shall I teach you some phrases?
Okay, teach you some German phrases.
Well, what's a good word? What words do you want to know, and I'll teach you.
I know how to ask for the time.
Was ist die Seite?
Yeah, or if you're in the street and you need to ask a member of public.
Was ist
you
das?
Say, Entschuldigung, können Sie mir sagen, wie spät es ist?
Whoa, that was posh. Mine's just very, pidgin German, if you know what I mean.
Excuse me, could you please tell me what the time is? I think it actually means, excuse me, can you please tell me how late it is? But they use that phrase to mean the time. Weirdos.
I like the German accent because it has they mention this in Scrubs, but it's two different kind of types. There's the masculine kind of ferocious one, like Ich bin eine kleine Pimmel, which is I have a small penis. I just shouted, but you can also do the sweet milkmaid, like oh yeah, ich bin bitte schön. Do you like those?
I like those.
Which one did
sexy.
you prefer?
It's definitely the second one.
Oh,
we have listeners in Germany, by the way, so we've probably just alienated most of them.
Well, in all fairness, I think we have alienated both Germany and the Midlands. If you're from either Germany or Nottingham, thank you for listening still. But Dan, how the devil are you?
Pretty good, Matt. Can't complain. A little bit warm though. Toasty, eh?
Yeah, very hot. It's very hot at the moment. We almost have to... Guys, we are ultimate professionals for this podcast, and we thought maybe have a fan in the background for this one, but because me and Dan...
Ever the professional.
Above all else, we put our pride and professionalism into this podcast. There's not a single episode which isn't unprofessional. Don't listen to episode 8, the Weetabix Challenge, okay? So we decided to not have a fan, so we're suffering for our art form today, so if Dan and I are a little bit craggy, or a bit, grumpy, it's your fault. Yeah.
At some point, if it gets too hot, I'm just going to have to go topless, and I'll let the listeners know.
Should we go tops off? Should we go tops off for the podcast right now? A missed podcast first. The first ever half-nude podcast. God, it's getting... again, I can see the homo-erotic tendencies.
I will later on, if it gets hot, I will have to take my top off, because it is quite toasty.
Oh, well, you got that to look forward to, listeners. Also, another thing is that, funnily enough, this will be coming out at the end of the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. However, due to the recording of these podcasts, we are...
Yeah, because Matt's in Edinburgh, he's not going to be able to record podcasts. We're having to record some of them before, so we can put them out after. What a dick.
Yeah, how dare I follow my dreams? But so I thought it'd be quite funny, Dan. Why? Because it's coming out after the Fringe.
If I ask you how you think you did.
Yeah, why don't we just,
Alright, man, how was Edinburgh?
It was really good, thanks. It was amazing, like every single Myths follower just came up to me in the street, go, "Oh my god, are you Matt Hoss from Myths fame?" And they paraded me as a king in the streets. I'm officially the king of Edinburgh now, and I'm not sure if I'm the first ever person to get a 6-star review.
Wow, that's impressive. I did read that actually in the Times.
And what did the review say of me, Dan?
It said, Matt Hoss of Myths podcast fame. I've got it right here, actually.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, it says, here we go, in fact, let me just find the article. Russell of paper.
It is made up, by the way.
Matt Hoss of Myths podcast fame was exhilarating. Oh, that's good, isn't it? Exhilarating in his performance at the...
Where, Dan?
At the comedy venue where he was performing. He was really... It says you were really good.
You know what?
It said you were... it said you insulted many of the listeners, but in a fun and jovial manner.
What did I do to offend them?
One woman said, Matt Hoss is the comedian we've all been waiting for. Mary, aged 58. When asked what other comedians she could list, she couldn't name any, so that's always good to know.
There was a lot in there, Dan, but the thing that I noticed there is that in this written review, it says you called the people who watch my comedy performance listeners. So again, you're getting this wrong, Dan. You're getting this wrong. But
no one's going to want to look at you when you're doing your comedy, are they?
You went from being really nice and very sweet to being, well, he's beating up Nick Frost, isn't he? Thanks, Dan. Thanks.
Matt, I'm just looking inside your rucksack on the floor here. Again, ever the professional. How many pens have you got in there? Jesus Christ.
I'm a creative soul, Dan. I've got to get ready for Fringe somehow.
Just from the angle I'm looking into your bag now, I can see 6 pens.
Because, Dan, a masterpiece is by itself. How do you think I got that exhilarating review?
That's true, actually, yeah. After Edinburgh, in the podcast, we're going to have to read out your reviews, by the way. That would be fucking hilarious. If you get any.
I would literally cry. Okay, well, what do you reckon a realistic review would be? If you...
Realistic review would probably be that you are... would probably be a 3 or 4 star.
That's fine, yeah.
It's fine, you're an amateur, Matt. It's okay.
Whoa.
It's okay.
Consummate professional, Dan.
It's okay, semi-professional.
Amazing.
Let's agree on semi-professional.
No. Dan, don't ruin...
3 or 4 star.
Don't you dare ruin my reputation for the podcast. I need to present them really good.
Your audience work's very good. I know that for a fact.
Well, thank you.
I would say that your honesty and your incongruous comedy probably shone through. Probably a star. One to watch out for. Maybe Matt. Just saying. Bookie's favourite to win best newcomer.
However, unfortunately, this is unprecedented in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. However, someone who actually didn't go to Edinburgh Fringe actually won the award, and his name was Daniel Rhodes. God damn it, Dan, you steal my thunder.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how pissed off would you be if it turned out I was actually at Edinburgh when you were, and that I won an award?
But I know you would do 100% better than me, just because you're a jammy little shit. Because I would go up there, actually write a really...
I'd do one night as a joke.
Yeah, and then you'll win 8 awards. I'm like, wow, this guy's amazing. Wow. But... the thing that'll be worse is that you'll do the same stories as me, and you'll get
I'm just going to steal your material.
Yeah, and be like...
People be like, pretty sure I heard that last night at Matt Hoss gig, but Jesus, this was so much funnier. That vegan thing really hit home when Dan did it.
And it's nice that you assume that everyone's going to see my show as well. But yeah, why don't you come see one of my other shows, not in Edinburgh? Dan, I'm actually doing the Nottingham Comedy Festival.
Are you? If you're from Nottingham and you want to...
Throw tomatoes at me.
Yeah, throw tomatoes and rip into Matt for his, quite frankly, racist Nottingham accent.
It's not racist.
It is when you do an accent wrong, Matt. If you did the Chinese accent wrong, would that not be classed as racist?
Yeah, that is.
It would, wouldn't it?
It is.
It would. So why is it no different if you're trying to do a Nottingham accent and you do it wrong?
Dan, do not press that Do not press this issue with me, because I've got a lot of recordings of you in the Dangerous Dan files, which is... It doesn't make you out as a good person.
No, it doesn't.
However, we have a cracking myth for you today, don't we?
We do.
Let's get into it now. Myths. Dan, welcome to the myth.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Are you a guest on the podcast?
Yeah.
Shall I interview you?
Yeah, thanks.
So, Dan, what's your inspiration for what have you always been into myths?
Always been into myths.
When did you first listen to this podcast?
I first listened to this podcast back in episode. Actually, a lot of people don't know this, but I actually listened to the a bonus Amazons episode.
Wow.
Before it came out.
How did you manage that?
And I listened to the pilot also. Well, I was recording it.
Wow! I didn't know that.
So the first time I ever listened to the podcast was when I was actually the one doing the podcast.
Wow! You've heard it here first,
wow.
People. Actually, you didn't, but like, well, it's good to have you, Dan. What's your favourite myth?
My favourite myth is one that I've never actually read before, which is why I thought I'd read it today.
It's getting very meta, isn't it? And what's your favourite thing about the host and the creator of the podcast, Matt Hoss?
Co-creator of the podcast. And co-host. I think you missed the co off both of those.
I didn't. In all fairness, I was trying to keep you in the joke, but you know, let's not call a shovel a spade.
No, he's all right.
I think 6 star.
I heard that the Times gave him a 6-star review.
Anyway, in this podcast today, you've actually brought one along for you, which is unheard of on Matt's myths. But what's it called then?
It's called Cupid and Psyche.
Psyche. And do you know much about these?
Cupid, he makes people fall in love.
Oh yeah. How does he do that?
Oh yeah. Shoots arrows at people and they fall in love. Oh yeah.
You pull the trigger of my love gun.
What song is that?
Love Gun by Kiss. And also, another one I thought of is shot through the heart and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. That was good. That's good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, what do you know about Cupid or Psyche?
I actually don't know much about Psyche. I think Psyche is...
I think it's a Roman myth, first of all.
Yeah, so it's using the Roman version of the gods, although I believe it is... I think it's Ovid's Metamorphosis, I think. So it's a Roman iteration of things, but easily translatable into Greek canon. I don't know much about Psyche, so I'm excited to hear this myth. But obviously Cupid does pop up quite regularly in a lot of different
Especially
things.
on the 14th of February. Wow.
Pop up.
Pop up.
Erection.
On Valentine's Day.
Bonus.
Ever celebrated a Valentine's Day before, Matt?
Oh, actually, this 2018 was the first time I actually got a gift for someone for Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's cute.
It was my brother's girlfriend, because my brother forgot to get her a gift and asked me to get her a gift instead.
Wow. Alex Hoss, an avid listener of Myths podcast. I assume she listens to it too.
Nope. That's why I can slag her off. No, Helen's very lovely. And my brother did suggest that I get his girlfriend a gift. He was like, "Oh, you have enough time on your plate." I was like, "Thanks, Alex." Thanks for that.
And yes, I do.
What's the worst gift you can get for someone for Valentine's Day? Because I thought a pregnancy test would be quite bad.
That would be quite bad. An abortion?
Nothing says romance like killing a fetus. And Dan, always practice safe sex and you can't get pregnant in the bum.
Can't get pregnant in the bum. Let's start with the myth, Matt.
I forgot we were doing that. Have you celebrated Valentine's Day, Dan?
I don't know if I ever really have, no.
Can we celebrate?
Not with another person.
It sounds like you just wang quite hard.
No, I mean, I book out a restaurant, eat on my own.
Do you book out the whole...
Chase a real man to eat Valentine's Day dinner on his own in a restaurant.
I think I've done that.
Not purposely.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't... No, I think I'm...
When I was travelling, I ate in a restaurant on my own, and then was like, Jesus, there's a lot of couples here. And then I was like, it's 14th of February.
Oh my god. So actually did happen?
Yeah, because I was travelling, so I didn't realise that it was that time of year.
Oh, but then again, I don't know, if you do stuff by yourself, I think it's
in Australia.
Australia.
Australia!
Yeah.
Australia. Which
When?
technically, I guess, was February the 13th here. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Let's do the myth. Take it away, Dan.
Once upon a time, there lived a king and queen who had 3 daughters. The elder 2 were lovely, but the youngest, Psyche, was really beautiful and grew more and more beautiful as she grew.
I for sure thought it was going to get the other 2 were lovely. But Psyche was a real bitch.
That sentence was throwing us down a path. I thought that was for sure going to say the other 2 were lovely, but she was a whore bag. People came from miles around to gaze at her beauty, and some said she was more beautiful than Venus, goddess of love, and even began to worship her as a goddess. The goddess beauty. Venus ain't gonna like that. I can tell you that right now.
Sacrilege, right
Woo!
there.
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
And
This is a bit like when gods, particularly the females, they do not like people stealing their thunder. Pygmalion made that really hot woman. Aphrodite was like, not having one of that.
oh no, she don't.
Arachne was really good at weaving.
Yeah.
Again, Aphrodite was like, ain't having any of that.
It's essentially.
Zeus cheated on his wife, and his wife said, ain't having any of that. That's fair enough, though. Let her have that. Let her have that.
But I like it because the gods assume that they are the best at everything. However, humans quite regularly have the same skill as them, but they're like, well, fuck you, no. However, Venus noticed what was happening and was not pleased at all. To stop people worshipping Psyche, Venus ordered her son, Cupid, to make Psyche fall in love with the ugliest thing he could find by shooting her with one of his arrows.
I did not know Cupid was actually the son of Venus. That's
Yes.
I didn't actually know that.
Because we'll later find out in the Aeneid, Venus sends Cupid to do a lot of her bidding, so she makes Dido fall in love with Aeneas by shooting.
Okay.
So that happens quite regularly as well. But, so Venus orders Cupid to find the ugliest thing she can
Make her fall in love with the ugliest thing, yeah.
I didn't know you were in this myth, Dan.
Yeah. I'm Psyche, you know this to be true. You know this to be true.
You know what, Dan? I'm going to be serious here for a second. You are the most beautiful thing in this podcast.
Thank you, Matt. I know.
Wow. You're not going to send that love a little bit
No,
back my way?
you're lovely. You're lovely.
Wow.
Just like Psyche's sisters.
Wow. What? I just gave you a nice compliment. And you
Are you probably one of the nicest people I know? Yeah, I guess.
I guess. Oh, bitch, we're going to have an argument afterwards. Let's just carry... Because we're consummate professionals, I carry on despite our distaste of each other. We're like the Beatles. Like, we've done, all the Wonder stuff. Or we've done the Golden stuff, now we just hate each other.
Yeah.
One of us dies. When Cupid found Psyche, she was crying softly. She did not want to be worshipped. She wanted people to stop gawking at her and actually speak to her. Cupid's heart melted. Psyche was beautiful, not just on the outside, but on the inside too. And this is actually sweet, because this is actually a genuine human response here. Instead of the gods being dicks, Psyche's actually like, oh, I want someone to actually like me for who I am, not for my beauty. Which is sweet.
That's really sweet.
Cupid was so overcome that he pricked himself with the arrow intended for her. Cupid fell so completely in love with Psyche that he found that he could not shoot her with his arrows as his mother had told him. So he left. So he pricked himself with his own arrows and falls in love with her.
I have to admit, though, it sounds the way they worded it when it said he's so overcome, he pricked himself. It sounds like he was so shot. He was like, I stabbed myself.
No wonder you have to leave so quickly. You have to change his garments.
Exactly, he stabs himself with his arrow.
You would think that a person who had love-inducing arrows, that he would be immune to that. But if he actually can come to his own arrows, you imagine that he would fall in love quite a lot. If you know what I mean, he would. Oh shit! I just pricked my finger. Oh god! I've seen that ferret on the floor. Oh, I'm in love with you. Oh god!
As the years passed, Psyche continued to grow more beautiful, and people continued to worship her. Cupid, unseen by Psyche or anyone else, kept visiting her.
Bit creepy.
Sneaky. Psyche's sisters grew up and got married, but Cupid made sure that he did not shoot anyone with his arrows and caused them to fall in love with Psyche and ask her to marry them. Because you can only marry someone if you love them.
Yeah, I suits that.
The king and queen were very concerned that their daughter lacked suitors and was only happy when all alone in the garden. So they decided to ask the oracle of Apollo about their daughter's future. Now, if there's anything we've learned about oracles in myths, it's that they are always 100% right, but no one ever listens to them.
No one ever listens.
Let's see if this is any different.
The oracle tells them that Psyche is destined to marry a monster that no god or mortal can resist. See, Dan, you do come into it.
I do come into it.
They are to take her to the top of a mountain and leave her there for her husband to claim. So there's... it seems that Psyche hasn't got quite a lovely life here. You know, she seems to be condemned by her beauty.
That's a weird thing to say, by the way. Your daughter will marry a monster. In order for her to do this, you have to drag her up a mountain and leave her there. This makes sense.
You know, I bet oracles are just like high off their tits and just say anything. It's like, sage advice. It's always a mountain. With
Always
oracles.
a mountain.
Psyche's parents are very upset, but they obeyed the gods and led Psyche up the mountain and left her. So did Psyche have a response to all this
Probably
as well?
not.
Just like, oh, yeah, we're just going to go on holiday. You want to come up to a mountainside with us? Oh, yeah, we'll leave you there. Bye. Why don't you just walk down? She's her own adult. Psyche grows very frightened while she waits for the monster to claim her, but no monster shows up. Instead, Zephyr, the west wind, appeared and, lifting her gently, carried her away over the sea and set her down in a field of flowers outside the palace.
So basically a hurricane's just come and completely blown off the mountain.
Blew her away. Swept her off her feet.
Swept her off her feet. But no monsters come yet, like they said.
Or maybe...
Oh. Psyche sees a door in the palace wall and opens it to find the most beautiful garden inside. Loves a garden. Loves a bush, does Psyche. She gets up the courage to enter the palace itself, breaking and entering. But although she finds lots of rooms filled with beautiful furniture and treasures, there is no one at home.
Right, this is already getting quite weird quite fast, isn't it? So she's breaking and entering.
Psyche sits down at the dining table and is amazed when a meal appears before her, served by invisible hands, and an unseen choir sings while she eats. That would put me off my food.
Yeah.
A bowl appearing in front of me and an invisible choir singing. When she is finished, voices tell her that the palace and everything that is in it are hers, because everything there belongs to her new husband.
What?
Well, there's not been a ceremony yet,
Yes,
so no one's marrying anyone yet.
And very creepy, just to walk into somewhere and just be like, oh, this is all yours now. And, again, there's no consent here whatsoever. She's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
That night, her husband came into her bedroom, but, because it was dark, she could not see him, and he told her that she must never try to see what he looks like. Psyche listens to his kind voice and agrees.
Do you know what I feel like this is a bit like? It's a little bit like the beginning of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
All the magical objects in the house, but she doesn't actually know who the guy is.
Yeah.
Don't look at me, Belle.
But it's, I don't know, it's very creepy.
Very
Imagine just
creepy.
going to a girl's bedroom and like, I'm your husband, just don't look at me, but...
It's just bizarre that she was on a mountain, terrified that her husband... Cupid's nowhere to be seen, it seems. Terrified that a monster is going to come and claim her for her husband. She gets blown off into a field, and then now she's in a house, and she's just accepting that this is her husband. There's no ceremony or anything. It's not her husband.
And she's just totally on board with all this as well. I'll go up the mountain, I'll go into this house, I agree to listen to this weird and kindly voice. It's like, she needs to know boundaries, I think. She gotta own that stuff. However, when morning came, just before dawn lighting the sky, her husband kissed her gently and left.
Bit weird.
Bit of a dick move. She basically sleeps with her and goes, see you later, pal. Every day, invisible servants magically clean her clothes and dress her hair and feed Psyche wonderful food. Every day, Psyche enjoys the garden, and every night Psyche enjoys talking to her husband while lying next to him in the dark. But, without any other people around, Psyche starts to get lonely.
Aww.
So, essentially, she's very much gone for the lights off policy, but on a very hard basis, you know what I mean?
At last, Psyche tells her husband how lonely she is during the day, and asks him whether her sisters can come to visit. Reluctantly, he agrees, and the next day, Sophia brings her sisters to the visit, so the wind just grabs her sisters as well. They are amazed at the wonders and riches of Psyche's palace, but before long, they start to ask about her husband, and where he is. At first, Psyche says he spends the days hunting in the mountains. When they keep asking, she admits she has never actually seen him, whereupon they remember the prophecy and convince Psyche that she really ought to find out who or what she is married to, preferably with a knife in her hand at the time. So they just basically been like, you do remember that you were meant to marry a monster, so... yeah.
But, right, like, bearing in mind her name's Psyche, and she sees invisible things, she hears voices in her head, and she wanders around quite lonely quite a the time. Are you sure this isn't just a psychotic break? You know what I mean?
Maybe.
It definitely seems like psychosis, you know what I mean? It's nice her sister's like, oh, you know, maybe... it's nice it's rational, so it's like, figure out who you're like sleeping with. But the bit which is like irrational, like, have a knife in your hand, get ready to kill.
Well, because they think, get ready, it might be a vicious monster, get ready.
But I think a vicious monster wouldn't carry and collect your sister free of charge,
that's
you know
true,
what I mean?
that's true.
And haven't they questioned how they arrived there on the wind? Just like,
oh, where's this coming from? Yeah.
That night, while her husband is asleep, and even though she is sure that that he cannot really be a monster, Psyche takes out the lamp she had hidden beneath the bed. In the lamplight, she sees that her husband is none other than the god Cupid.
It's Cupid the whole time. He's not a monster. He's just in love with her.
Maybe the true monster is love. He is so handsome that she leans over to him to get a closer look, and as she does, she spills 3 drops of hot oil from the lamp on his shoulder. Cupid wakes up with a scream and sees his wife looking at him. In sorrow, he tells her that by showing she cannot be trusted to keep her word, their marriage will have to end. Then he flies out the window. Hold on, honey.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Firstly, mate, no ceremony, not a marriage.
Not a marriage, mate. Secondly, you kidnapped her, not a marriage.
Thirdly, there's got to be trust anyway. You can't just say, oh, well, you looked at me, so there's no trust. Trust goes both ways, you know. You can't just be, don't look at me forever. Of course you're going to have questions. This is very unreliable.
Yeah.
And if you really...
What kind of a marriage is that, either, as well?
And also, why is he trying to hide it as well? There's no reason to hide it. And if he really loved her, why wouldn't he want to spend time with her all the time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. Psyche tries to prevent him flying away, but he flies away, saying she will never see him again. The palace disappears, and she is left alone. Despite this, Psyche decides that she will try to find Cupid to explain why she lit the lamp and to beg his forgiveness.
See, again, this is another example of we kind of like victim blaming here, because she thinks that she's the one in the wrong, but she really isn't. Like, she's just, she's just in the middle of all this mess,
The first place she tries is a temple, which belongs to Ceres, goddess of the harvest. But the temple is deserted and dusty, so Psyche cleans it. Why not? She makes Ceres happy, so when Psyche asks for her help to find Cupid, Ceres tells Psyche to go to her own mother-in-law, the goddess Venus, and beg her forgiveness, and ask for her help in persuading Cupid, aka Venus' son, to return.
So there's a lot of family politics happening here. Because Venus obviously doesn't like Psyche for being very hot. Venus is not inclined to be kind, because Cupid is suffering terribly from the burns from the oil Psyche spilled on him. But when Psyche falls on her knees before Venus' throne, she relents a little bit. Again, because he spilled a little bit of oil on a god's shoulder, bearing in mind God is immortal, oh, you scratched my son, so I'm not going to help you?
Yeah.
So this is God's all over. This is God's mentality being kind of like, because they are so egotistical that she has to beg for any kind of forgiveness. Venus asks Psyche to prove her love for Cupid by completing a series of tasks. This again, this is Jason and the Argonauts and Hercules all over again. Hey, why don't you do some arbitrary tasks to prove something that you don't really believe in? Only then will she help. Will Venus help Psyche to become Cupid's wife again? But I don't know why Psyche is so desperate to be in love with Cupid. If you know what I mean, is it because he's just hot? Because he also deceived her as well. Like, he gave her a lot of riches and stuff like that, which I don't know why she's in love with this person. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she has to go through quite a lot for seemingly nothing. Okay, so there's a lot of tasks here. First, Venus wants Psyche to sort out all the grain in her granary into types by sunset. That is a boring
Wow,
task.
that's a boring task.
That is literally separating the wheat from the chaff. Joke. Psyche sets to work by separating the barley from the wheat from the rye, but by afternoon she has made little progress. Fortunately, Cupid sends some helpful ants to quickly finish sorting the grain by sunset. Venus suspects Psyche has help, but says nothing. Right, so, hold on 1 second. So, Cupid, the person that Psyche trying to win back by doing these challenges, is helping her out. Why doesn't Cupid just go, hey, I forgive you, and she doesn't have to do all this? Why is he... There's a lot of middlemen here, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's sending ants to help her with a task.
Why don't you just come and be like, hey, sorry about earlier?
Or maybe just talk about their feelings.
Yeah,
you
because
know,
he obviously likes the girl.
Yeah. Oh,
It's like at Love Island.
it's exactly like Love Island.
The next day, Venus tells Psyche to collect golden fleece from the banks of the sheep by the river. It's not the golden fleece. I just saw that word and I was like, I'm gonna have to.
It is a golden fleece.
It is a golden fleece
Maybe
from the
it is
sheep.
a golden fleece.
Psyche wades across, but as she emerges, the rams charge at her, and she is forced to take refuge among the bulrushes. That's the word I'm looking for. There, the god Pan is cutting new reeds for his pipes, and when he hears her story, he decides to help her by playing music to put the rams to sleep. He loves putting things to sleep, doesn't he, Ram?
Oh.
That's how boring his music is.
Yeah. Well, Pan. Yeah. He's. Do you know much about Pan?
Was he not in Junior and the Rivals? Did he not
Yeah,
come
yeah,
to
yeah.
put the thing to sleep?
They always love to put stuff to sleep, don't
Yeah.
they? So he plays. Pan's like kind of like a. He's like half. He features in a lot of things as like a muse, and he always like plays his pipes as well.
Psyche thanks him, and he begins to play. But even though the rams are asleep, she avoids them by gathering tufts of wool from the bushes they have been brushing against, not their backs. At sundown, Psyche presents the wool to Venus, which Venus grudgingly accepts. I feel like every time Venus is like, that doesn't really count, but fair enough.
But she also needs help every time as well. She's
pretty useless.
Yeah, although not. At least she's doing a lot better than Jason, because Jason was like, I'll just get all my friends to do all the jobs, you know. He's
true.
like, his entourage did heavy lifting, you know. At least she's giving it a go. Anyway, then Psyche has to go to the underworld and bring back some of Proserpina's beauty. Psyche is beside herself. The only way she knows to get to the underworld is to die. But if she dies, she will never see Cupid again. But, as things are, she will never see him again anyway, so Psyche resolves to throw herself off the mountain in order to undertake Venus's task, and have a hope of regaining her husband. Okay, you know how I earlier said psychotic break? That is definitely psychotic thinking, isn't it? What's the only way I can get to the underworld? Hey, Theseus, Odysseus, you guys have been down there, and come back alive. Nah, forget about that, I'll just kill myself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I was going to say, a few people have done it before.
Yeah, just like, she seems very... Yeah, I don't know, she seems very hot and cold, this lady. You know, she super loves her husband, but then all of a sudden she's willing to die for him, and then, like, I don't know, it just seems a bit, like, counterintuitive to kill yourself in order... Would you ever kill yourself for love, Dan?
No, because stupid, isn't it? Then you're dead.
Yeah, but like, what if you really love someone? Would you ever like take a bullet from me, Dan?
Maybe, yeah.
What's
Providing it wasn't going to kill me.
No, it would have to definitely kill you.
I would actually, Matt, I would.
Would you actually?
I think I would.
What if I was the one shooting you? But
So I would take a bullet for you, but you're shooting me.
basically, I'm trying to murder you.
Yeah.
So, she goes to kill herself. Just before she does, she hears Cupid's voice in her ear. He tells her about a cave that leads down to the underworld, how to convince Charon the ferryman to take her there and back, and how to avoid the three-headed guard dog Cerberus.
We've come across Charon and Cerberus quite a bit
Hey,
now.
how's it going? You want to come on my ferry?
Yeah, get on the boat, love, eh?
Yeah.
You got the coins? Yeah.
Give me the 2 opals, alright? And do you know who else is down in the underworld? Brian the Eagle. Come on. Quack! How's it going? Wait, you shouldn't kill yourself. But like, so the only reason she didn't kill us, literally she was about to kill herself, and Cupid's like, oh, don't do that, there's a cave right there. And
Also-
it has a sign, underworld on it.
Also, your impression of Brian the Eagle was wrong then.
Oh, sorry, please. Sorry.
I
Correct
thought
me.
Brian talked like that.
No, did he?
I thought he did. I thought it was like, hey,
Mate.
hey, Prometheus.
Oh, maybe. Well, Brian evolves all the time.
Okay, it's true. He's getting angsty now.
Well, maybe I got like the young version of him. Maybe, how does he sound again? Hey, man. Hey.
Wasn't he like, hey, Prometheus?
Gonna eat your liver.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or was he like Yorkshire? I feel like he was
No,
like
I don't
that.
think he was Yorkshire.
Okay, was he not?
I think Narcissus was Yorkshire.
But yeah, I thought I'm a little monitor. He talked like that. Didn't
No,
he?
that's Minotaur.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it can't be. I was doing that impression. So I don't know what Brian. I
I
forgot what Brian the Eagle sounds like, Matt. We haven't done him in a long time.
If you know what Brian the Eagle sounds like, please email us.
Can't remember my own impression. Following Cupid's advice, Psyche reaches Pluto's palace in the underworld and gains an audience with Pluto and Proserpina,
So I think.
who she's got a still beauty off of.
So just to clarify, I think the Roman version. So Pluto is Hades, and Proserpina is Persephone, which we know from episode 24.
We do. Psyche explains that Venus has sent her for a little of Proserpina's beauty. Once Proserpina finds out why Psyche is running Venus's errands, she smiles and gladly gives Psyche a box.
Quick question: how do you collect someone's beauty?
In a box, clearly. Do you not just read that?
But what do you do? Do you get the box close to someone's face and just snap it shut? Do you want to hear? This might not go on the podcast, but do you want to hear a little Matt Hoss story?
Go on.
Oh, this is digging deep. So, when I was, let's say, BB, before virginity,
Okay. 2017.
2018. I thought, when I was a really early teenager, I didn't know much about sex or anything like that, but I thought what I'd do was, like, when I would have sex with someone, I thought, like, the thing you would do is, like, I would collect virginities and put them in jars and keep them in like shelves on my wall in front of my family home. I would have a shelf full of empty jars which I would be full of virginities, and I don't know, like, did you used to have that before? Because is that a
That's the creepiest thing I've ever heard.
It's weird.
You collect
isn't it?
virginities
No, but, like,
in bars.
can
Like,
I-
as in, I'm just taking your virginity.
Yeah, but not like that. But just it's like these are all the essence of the people I've slept with, but, like, just like little mementos. If you know what I mean, like, that's weird, isn't it? That's not okay. This is like
That is weird, yeah.
It's like 11-year-old Matt Hoss. So like there's a certain innocence there. Because how would you? The point being, how would you capture a virginity? For that way, like it's like not a Pokeball, is it?
Well, you'd put the hymen membrane in there, I guess.
Which we do need to discuss on next week's episode, because we got the funniest email ever. But yeah, so that's not weird, is it, Dan?
It's very weird, Matt. Yeah.
It's right.
You can't collect. I don't think you're appreciating how weird that you just told me that is.
The way I
You would
thought,
sleep with women and then collect their virginities in jars that
But-
you would put in your home.
I think the weird thing is
That's the weirdest fucking thing I've ever heard. Listen to yourself.
Right, it is awful, and I obviously don't stand by that today. Although you should see my jar collection. But like I thought, the way I thought I'd do it is I put my This definitely won't go in the podcast, but the way I thought about doing it is you get the empty jar, put your penis in the jar, and kind of slowly just close the lid off it, and you keep it in. You tightly screw it up, and you put labels on. And the way in my head, this is the worst part. You would show people around, be like, "Look at this! This is cut from 2018." Just like, why would you show people that? It's just that was too honest. Right, honestly, Dan, be frank here. When hearing that story, were you like, that does sound like a Matt Hoss thing, or is that too weird?
Too weird. It's gone past being a Matt Hoss thing.
Really? That's
Yeah, I
thank you.
thought that's Matt Hoss
In all
times-
fairness, it wasn't like a major thing.
Times two.
It was like a thing I had in my head for a week. That was it. But like, I did have
Because
that.
in my head, you've got like Egyptian, what are they called, jars?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. If you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
all the
Yeah.
organs in.
Yeah. But hymens. A piece of plastic.
On the return journey, Psyche has been given a box.
Sorry,
by
I got
Persephone.
yeah.
On the return journey, Psyche wonders what the beauty of an immortal goddess looks like, and whether Venus would think her a worthy wife for Cupid if she had that kind of beauty herself. I thought the whole point was she did have that kind of beauty.
Yeah.
Or is she just the hottest, like, mortal person?
I don't know. She must be hotter than Venus, because Venus gets jealous, right?
Yeah. With these thoughts buzzing around in her head, Psyche sits down to rest. And before she knows it, she has opened the box to take a peek. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What do you think it's going to look like?
Just a dick pic. I don't know. Maybe just a picture of Pamela Anderson or something like that. I don't know. But this is very eerie of Pandora's box, if you know what I mean. Never look inside a box, Dan.
No, never look inside a box.
Or a jar.
Or a jar, in that case.
You don't know what's
Yeah.
inside it. Anyway.
So what's inside the box, Matt?
Unfortunately, the beauty of Proserpina is timeless and unchanging. So as soon as Psyche opened the box, she fell into a deep sleep, which, from the cold of night, the hooting of owls, and even the dawn chorus could not wake her. As the day wore on, still Psyche slept, and she slept and dreamt of Cupid.
Okay, interesting. It makes her fall asleep.
So, actually, what I've noticed with this is like the most fairy tale thing we've had, because that is very similar to Sleeping Beauty.
It is.
And the fact of we had Beauty and the Beast earlier, so this is very fair. This is like a proto fairy tale.
Yeah. Her dream was so vivid that Cupid felt it, and, having recovered from his burns, flew instantly to Psyche's side.
Oh my
But
God.
nothing he did, not shaking her, not calling her name, not even kissing her, could wake her.
Right. Firstly, he's a god, and
He just felt her dreams.
she's been doing these tasks for a while, and he's like, oh, now I'm recovered from a little bit of a burn, you know what I mean? Let's just get over it, mate. Secondly, he thinks, oh, this woman's sleeping, how do I wake her? Shake her? Call her name? Kiss her? He hasn't tried that many options, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Throw water over her.
Finally, he succeeded in waking her by pricking her with one of his arrows. Being pricked by Cupid's arrow woke Psyche, but did not make her fall in love with Cupid, the first person she saw when she woke, because she was already in love with him, as her actions and her dream had already shown him. So I read that better. That was nice.
But then again, it's an odd sentence, because it's like, oh, I didn't fall in love with him, because she was already in love with him.
Yeah, it's saying that the arrow didn't make her, isn't
Yeah.
what made her fall in love, because she already was. Cupid and Psyche are delighted to see each other and to be reunited.
Oh. Psyche explains she fears Venus won't allow her to be with him because she has not completed her task, and can't do so because the beauty of Proserpina must have escaped from the box when she opened it while she was asleep. Cupid tells Psyche not to worry, but to trust him, and to take the box back to Venus while he goes to speak to Jupiter, the king of the gods. Cupid flies off to persuade Jupiter to help him and Psyche to be together forever, then returns to Venus's palace just in time to join Psyche at the gates.
Can I just say, in all of these like Greek or Roman, Jupiter and Zeus, obviously the same guy,
Yeah,
just does mostly admin, doesn't he?
and like messing around.
And messing around with women.
Yeah.
Cupid and Psyche give the box to Venus and wait hopefully. Venus accepts it and asks Psyche, "Did you open the box?" Psyche considers lying, but knowing that Venus will open the box herself, tells her that she did peep inside. Venus expresses surprise that Psyche is alive and awake, and Cupid steps forward and explains what happened and why he woke Psyche. To their surprise, Venus smiles and declares Psyche to have passed her tests and gives her blessing to the marriage of her son Cupid to the kind, determined, hard-working, modest, truthful, and constant Psyche.
Wait, hold on. So
Now they're actually getting married.
yeah, I
for
was
real.
gonna say yeah. So she wasn't on board with it before, but now yeah. This is an odd one. Cupid carries Psyche to Mount Olympus, home of the gods, for their wedding feast, at which Jupiter has Psyche served with nectar and ambrosia, the food of the gods, which turn her into an immortal goddess, the goddess Psyche. Cupid and Psyche lived happily ever after in a palace full of people. Even Psyche's sisters were forgiven and invited to a visit that stood in the midst of a beautiful garden, and in due course they had a beautiful daughter, whom they called Voluptas, which means pleasure.
But that's a bit weird if you name your daughter Pleasure.
It's like naming a charity or something.
And that is how beautiful mortal girl Psyche became an immortal winged goddess. But she got wings too!
Yeah,
How did
wow.
that happen? Became an immortal winged goddess and fulfilled the prophecy that she would marry a monster who no god or mortal can resist. But only because both Cupid and Psyche were capable of looking beyond surface appearances to see the truth beneath. The end.
how was he a monster?
I don't know, because
The way-
he kidnapped her, I guess. But he's not a monster. That's the only thing I'm confused by in this myth.
Yeah.
He wasn't a monster, so it annoyed me they kept
No.
using the word monster, because he hasn't fulfilled the prophecy, because not once has he been a monster. He's been trying to be the nice guy.
But then again, it was very arbitrary in the way he did treat her. So maybe he was slightly misogynistic, but then again, he was quite helpful. I don't know. I think monster is a strong word.
Maybe it's the fact that they thought he was a monster, because
Yeah.
he kidnapped her and stuff.
I also really like how the sisters still come to visit, but they're still not allowed to Mount Olympus, so they have to stay at the gates, just a base camp. You know what I mean? Anyway, should we go into the ranking then?
Yes.
Time to rank some myths. So we have life skills, we have morals, we have creativity, and a WTF factor. Mark them each out of 10 for a total of 40. Dan, take it away.
Life skills, creativity, morals, WTF. Life skills, what have we learned? What have we learned in this myth, Matt?
We have learned how to shoot an arrow,
How to shoot an arrow.
how to fall in love with someone,
How to fall in love with someone.
how to incorrectly do a prophecy,
How to incorrectly do a prophecy.
how to be hot,
How to be hot.
how to be carried away by the wind,
How to be carried away by the wind.
how to clean dishes, get a servant,
How to get invisible servants.
well, then
How to go to the underworld.
by killing yourself,
How to get beauty in a box.
how to fall to sleep,
How to fall asleep.
how
To wake someone up from sleep.
yes, good point, how to burn someone,
How to burn someone.
how to pretend to be a sly lover, be hidden, you know. Cupid
How to count wheat and rice.
how to send ants to do your duty,
How to send ants to do your duty.
how to
Stop sheep.
yes, how to get the wool.
Yeah, how to make a pipe. He was making pipes, remember, in the week.
Yes, I like it. It's quite full, isn't it? What other bits and bobs have we learned? We've maybe that's probably it.
Yeah. It's quite high though.
Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. Well, what do you think?
I think a 7.
I took the words right out of my mouth. I think 7's pretty decent.
Boom, it's going in.
Yeah.
That's locked in. Morals, Matt. Morals. What have we learnt morally? What kind of messages are there in this?
Don't assume marriage just because you blew a girl to your palace.
Don't assume marriage. Yeah.
Get your mum's blessing before you marry someone.
Get your mum's blessing before you marry someone.
Don't set arbitrary tasks to prove someone you have to love them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just
Just because an oracle tells you to doesn't mean you have to send your daughter to the top of a mountain to get attacked by a monster.
you don't always have to believe in prophecies.
Marriages are never going to work if you don't look at each other.
Well,
Communicate your feelings. That's the biggest moral here.
Yeah.
Because Cupid wanted to express certain feelings, and Psyche wanted to express certain feelings, and deep down Venus wanted to kind of express her feelings about the situation, and none of them really did, and it all got a bit.
And also, and on top of that, it also teaches us not to be superficial as well, because Psyche teaches us to.
That's probably the bigger message.
Yeah, and also from a mental health point of view, be willing to chat about your problems, you know, and be
touch about
there
your problems.
because our sisters were there to try and
Yeah.
help. Although they didn't really help. They were like, "Hey, you're obviously suffering some mental problems. Have a knife." So yeah, I think it's quite decent morals.
Don't be so soon to kill yourself, because things will always work out.
Yes, we learnt that you should never really keep any form of beauty / virginity in a box / jar. Because, oh my god, Dan, you know in episode 13 where we had the king,
Yeah.
who we affectionately called Jar Jar King.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's the same jar I used?
Maybe the one that goes in the jar. Maybe.
Who knows? I think it's the weirdest thing I've said on
Yeah.
this, isn't it? So I think overall, Dan, I think maybe a 6 or a 7.
I was going to say 6.
Yeah.
Lock that in. Number 6.
Alright, creativity. Again, I think this is quite a big one because it's like a prototype myth, prototype fairy tale. I think there's a lot of different themes happening through here in terms of the way that it ebbs and flows on who loves the other one more, if you know what I mean. They're quite erratic lovers, so a lot of different things happen in a lot of different times, and there's a proper narrative here, and it's intricate, I believe. What do you believe?
I think it's creative, yeah. I think there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of interplay between relationships. The tasks are quite creative.
Yeah. Yes. Well,
The whole
actually,
palace invisible, her being carried by the wind. It's all pretty creative, Matt.
so we have a mixture of gods, mortals,
Oracles.
tasks. I think this is like a love story as well.
Yes.
A mixture of the fantastical and real human
Yeah.
nature as well. I think maybe like a 6 or a 7. What do you reckon?
I'd
It's
be,
not- it's
I'd
not
be
out
happy
this-
with a 7.
It's not out of this world though. Is
I think
it?
a 7 because I actually, as a story point of view, I quite enjoyed that actually from a narrative point of view.
Is it 6 or 7 now?
I think it's a 7.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay,
There's a nice, you know what I mean? There's a nice
Yeah.
narrative to it. There
Yeah.
was nice characters.
gotcha. WTF? Marrying her without her consent.
Yeah, a bit weird.
Falling in love with her. Well, yeah, I don't know. The fact that he fell in love with her in the first place is a bit messed up. If you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's just like, oh well, I guess I'll try and he stopped all the other suitors from going to her as well. So he kind of didn't get a chance to get her to fall in love with anyone else.
Yeah.
It's actually a bit like Stockholm syndrome.
It is, yeah. I was thinking that. It is a bit.
The fact that Venus is jealous of her.
Yeah.
The fact that Venus won't allow anything to happen. The fact that she wanted to kill herself in order to prove her love.
Yeah.
The fact that
She burnt her with a candle.
Yeah. I don't think it's out of this world. Maybe like a 4 or a 5. Maybe probably
Yeah.
4. at least.
I think a 4 maybe. It was more of just a normal story, wasn't it? Than a.
Yeah.
There wasn't really anything particularly of WTF.
But, again,
But ultimately,
it's
the
average.
whole monster thing is quite weird, though. I think
Yeah.
that's important. There's quite a strong weighting with that.
Yeah.
She lived in an invisible palace with like
Yeah, it's creepy.
a
I think
creepy monster, or what she thought was a creepy monster, and he like kissed her and stuff.
Yeah. I think maybe 5 or a 6.
I think a 5, maybe a 5.
5?
Yeah.
So then, add that up. We have a 7 and a 6 and a 7 and 5. What's it give us?
25.
Yeah. 25. Oh, right in the... Not right in the middle, but it's... I think that's pretty... That's an adequate myth, I think.
Yes, it is.
It was very entertaining. I enjoyed this one. It was a good
It
one.
was a good one. It was a good one.
So, Dan, did you really enjoy this myth?
I did really enjoy that. It was a nice.
Did you really enjoy this myth?
Yes, I did.
Well, why don't you email in at misspodcast@gmail.com to tell us how much you liked it?
I will do. Yeah. It'll be a bit of a waste of time, but I will do.
Don't say that. We're trying to encourage.
Well, it'll be a
listeners.
bit weird if I emailed myself.
Well, you probably emailed me because
I'll probably email you. I don't listen to the emails. I don't read the emails.
But I
don't watch the emails. Whatever you do to an email.
We both really care about your emails. We both watch them. We both read your emails, and we really appreciate your correspondence as well.
Yes.
And in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be reading out your correspondence as well. Some really, really funny stuff. You guys are very funny. So do get in touch with us at misspodcast@gmail.com. If you just want to tell us how great we are, maybe you want to give me a 6-star review as well, why don't you tweet us at misspodcasts on Twitter and Facebook. Give us a like and a follow. And if you really, really like us, why don't you give us a 6-star review as well?
Perfect.
On iTunes. Or Acast or your podcast provider. Now, Dan, is there anything else you want to say before we go?
No, just thank you for having me. Thank you for even
Yes.
though we're in my house.
Yeah, thank you for coming on my podcast, Matt Smith's, and I've been your host, and I was going to say compare, but like, so
Who's your special guest next week?
well, funnily enough, it's actually my guest next week is actually Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. Wow.
It's pretty.
Wow.
I mean,
Can I be racist if I do a Barack Obama impression?
you definitely,
Okay.
please don't ever no. So, well, actually, Dan, you know, I don't mind you. Do you want to come on the next episode?
Oh, fine. I'll come on the next one too.
Oh, brilliant. Well, guys, I guess we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye. I hope you find your love like Cupid and Psyche did.
I don't. Bye.
Myths, 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 myths.